community. I think the most earth-shattering news of the day: Wendy's, which used to be the #2 hamburger franchise in the world, I don't know what number they are today, have just announced a new logo. Yay! I literally remember the day when Dave Thomas from Columbus, Ohio, introduced Wendy's and made his daughter Wendy, at that time locally famous, but he probably knew that she was going to become internationally famous. And if you've seen a recent commercial of Wendy's, Dave Thomas passed away. I'm going to guess about 5 years ago. Uh, Wendy, the original Wendy, is actually featured in the commercials today. And she has a new look. I guess I might be able to even show. Well, I showed the new look at my Google Plus account today. So if you go to google.com or googleplus.com/smallbizdavid and read what I did today, you'll see the old logo and the new logo. Well, not to be outplayed, McDonald's also made a major announcement today, and they're going to actually start to talk about, if you can believe this, healthy eating and targeting the message toward children. And I had to kind of laugh. Just yesterday, my son Sam and daughter-in-law Kimberly are visiting now from Rome, Italy. And yesterday we were driving around doing something, and I reminded Sam, or he reminded me, I don't remember which one, how as young kids growing up, I used to take he and his brother Jordan to McDonald's way too much, and they became enamored with chicken nuggets and French fries. To this day, I think Jordan still enjoys chicken nuggets and French fries. But I was laughing. I just said this yesterday before I read today's announcement that Sam, I can't believe your father actually took you to do a lot of unhealthy eating when you were growing up. And today that announcement came out. So that's good news. That's great news. And the other news that broke that will have great impact around the world today is that Microsoft is launching its advertising campaign for Windows 8 today. I say that, well, I have used Windows for a long time. I don't use it. I use it just big picture. I don't use all the individual services that Windows offers. As a matter of fact, I am officially closing down my Outlook address book, mailbox, that I haven't used for over 3 years now, probably 4 years, closer to 4 years. And I'm officially closing it down with one last email blast. You know I don't believe in email blasts, but I do want to tell everybody who was in my Outlook mailbox, and there's probably 1,000 addresses in Outlook that I want to tell them about David's Barter Community if they already don't know about it. And I'm going to invite them, because most of these people know me, obviously, if they're in my mailbox or address book. They know me, and so I'm going to invite them to be mentors of entrepreneurship in the community, and just tell them about the community in general if by some chance they already haven't heard about it. So it will officially close down. But the other thing, and I mentioned this 2 or 3 weeks ago, that for the first time ever on that particular day, because of some research that was done, officially there were less PCs in the world. Less than 50% of the world's computers were PCs. And the correlation there is if there's less PCs being used and more of something else, there's less Windows being used. And I don't think it's a big secret. Microsoft is struggling right now, and they need to continually to introduce as much new technology as they possibly can to stay alive. But they are struggling, no question about that. And we'll see where everything happens. But I will not be a big user of Windows 8. 2 computers that I have came loaded with Windows. One computer that I have came loaded with iOS. Another computer. My iPad obviously has Apple technology. My phone has Android technology, of which I don't use a lot of the technology, but what I do with it is I do use it, my QR Droid reader. I use that because if you follow me, you know that I'm a big proponent of QR codes. It is the most innovative thing that's ever been introduced to printing, where printing is one-dimensional, and use of a QR code makes it two-dimensional, multi-dimensional. As a matter of fact, let me grab a postcard that I'm going to be mailing, that I am mailing. Hold on. Let me go grab a postcard. I am currently mailing this postcard, and it has a QR code in it. And when people receive this postcard in the mail, and there'll be about 1,000 people who receive this postcard in the mail. This is a postcard I actually printed 4 years ago when I came out with my magazine. I'm sorry, with my book, How to Answer These 749 Questions About Your Small Business. And I found a box of, well, not a full box, a partial box of these postcards. And so I decided to make a mailing out of it. And so I took a label. It was a 5.5 by 8.5 label to put on top of the mailing that I had done 4 years ago, to make it appropriate for today. This message is: download a complimentary PDF of my book at davidsbarter.com. And while visiting David's Barter Community, SmallBizDavid would be honored for your commitment as a mentor of entrepreneurship in the SmallBizDavid Foundation. And to make it easy for the folks to get to the SmallBizDavid page, the landing page in the community, I put a QR code. So let me test this QR code and see if it works. Okay. And it brought the URL up. http:// goo dot gl/mzrwp. For you to get a QR code, you just need to go to goo.gl. That's Google's site. They'll ask you to put in a website address, a landing page address. You put that address in, and it generates the QR code. It'll generate a code that looks very similar to this. It's hard to believe with them all looking so familiar how they are actually different. So I hit the code, I hit the URL on my phone, and lo and behold, here is my landing page. How neat is that? Well, it's something that we must really be sensitive to, aware to, because so many folks are using smartphones today. That's how they are communicating with the rest of the world. The biggest challenge that Facebook has right now as a social network community, a social media community, is effective use of the mobile device. Be it an iPad, be it a phone, a smartphone, the mobile device, so that people who use these devices on a regular basis can go to their Facebook pages and do whatever they do on their Facebook pages. It's frightening to think that with 500 million people using Facebook every day, 500 million people around the world using Facebook every day, now that they can carry their Facebook with them on their phone, on their smartphone, can't be a dumb phone, it's got to be a smartphone, how much time they will now spend on Facebook. Well, Facebook understands that. Actually, I related to that. I was briefly, I caught a headline that Facebook, the thing that was missing from Facebook's IPO announcement was their real strategy in mobile, because that's the future of revenue for Facebook, is how to really get folks who use Facebook on mobile, put advertising in front of them. Like it or not, my friends, if you are a Facebook profile user, and there are 1 billion of you around the world, you are going to be inundated, if not already, with as much advertising as Facebook can get into your hands, because they have people that pay for all of that exposure. Imagine that. With 500 million people using Facebook every day, how many advertising exposures are out there as you go from page to page to page in Facebook? I can't even imagine the number. Okay, well, QR codes and phones and direct mail, very, very important stuff. Very important stuff as you are starting a new business. And I am going to stop this particular